And it's Tia Tuesday. Today we're going to learn about dementia from a Nova Scotia doctor who is also an advocate for dementia awareness. Dr. Agnes Chinelo also served as physician liaison for Alzheimer's Society of Canada and wrote the book Michael's Memories to share valuable information about aging and living well with dementia, and from the perspectives of a physician, caregiver, and daughter. So here to tell us more is author and dementia advocate Dr. Agnes Chinelo and Tia Upshaw, founder and CEO of Black Women in Excellence. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
so
morning.
Let's get right into this conversation. So why were you so passionate about writing this book, Michael's Memories?
So like you said, I wrote it from a dual perspective as a physician and as a daughter and caregiver. I struggled, balancing my knowledge as a medical doctor and as a daughter. I will be honest, I had to embrace, emotional vulnerability. I struggled with, the pressure and the expectation culturally. I'm from Nigeria, you're the first child and you're the doctor. So there's a lot of pressure and expectation placed on me. So I was assumed to know it all, and, and that pressure was there. And I had to, the journey taught me about self-compassion and empathy for my dad and also for myself, that I'm doing the best that I can each day, and I'm showing up for my dad and looking after my dad. And I wanted to share the caregivers' challenges, highlighting that they are our heroes. My mom was is still my hero. And it is an emotional roller coaster. And we just have to take each day as it comes. And and also self-care is not an indulgence, it's necessity, and you figure it out as we go and ask for help. So.
Well, I know, Tia, book is very close to your heart. I know that your grandmother,
Absolutely,
who raised you, had some issues with Alzheimer's and dementia at the end. Why don't you tell your story, Tia?
Well, we don't have all the hours to do that, but I'll sum it up that it's probably the hardest thing to watch a loved one go through. And for me, it was hard, but then you think about it, for my children, it would be harder because they're young, they don't understand. And when you see someone who's so strong, I bet your father was
oh my God,
the man of the house, he was strong, community loved him, same with my grandmother, and then all of a sudden, the lights switch off, and they're a completely different person. They actually become a baby again.
yes.
And then you're taking care of them, and it's a hard thing to watch, someone that you are, always known as being the one, the head of the family, no longer be able to even articulate any of our names. So I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to get some data exposure on it. And like I said earlier, when it comes to our Black community, we're not quick to put our parents in homes. We end up being caregivers on rotation, and we actually move in with them, or they come in with us. So it's quite different. So I can't wait to read this.
Oh my God, you are me. Like, this is what I went through. Because I tell you what, because I'm supposed to be the perfect doctor, perfect child, I lost my dad. Yeah. My dad wandered off in the UK when he was while I was his caregiver. I put in exhaustion, thinking I could do it all.
Yes.
And I shared that in my book.
Oh, wow.
So he wandered off in the middle of the night. My dad had, in as much as he was on medication for sleep, he had this, reversal of sleep pattern. He will wake up in the middle of the night. Probably maybe he needs to use the bathroom. I will help him, guide him, make sure he, then settle him back. Like you said, a baby, settle him back in bed. So these fateful nights, I overslept. And I think I was just exhausted. I'll be honest, I was exhausted, and I'm just reliving it now. And I normally would hear him when he's, walking around, shaking the door handles, kind of asking for me. And I didn't hear him. And some reason, I just woke up. When you just wake up out of the blues. And I went to his room, he wasn't there. I was like, oh, maybe he's in the family bathroom. Went there, he wasn't there. I was like, oh, maybe he's downstairs. Went downstairs, he wasn't there. Checked the bathroom, visitors toilet downstairs. Oh my God. At this point, I was already, perspiration, panting. And then the only door I hadn't checked was the front door. If you see how I was dreading walking towards that front door, and it was ajar. I ran on the street. I was shouting, I was like, hey, baby, daddy, daddy. I didn't find him.
Oh.
I was Honestly, it's so traumatic. Like you said, it's traumatic, it's challenging.
It is.
Well, Dr. Agnes, I guarantee you there are people watching right now who have been through what you've been through.
Yeah.
They're terrified that that's going to happen. I know that in my own family, these things have happened, and I just appreciate your bravery in writing this book. I know it's going to help so many people.
Yes.
And the video to promote the book, you actually have your children involved because it's never too young to learn about what dementia means.
Yes.
And how it can impact your life. And I know that you also bravely in this video invite people to come see you at your book signings and ask questions.
Yes.
So just we're pretty much out of time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But this has been wonderful, and thank you for this conversation. But when can people see you next?
Yes, this Saturday, April 26th, Prayers Lake Indigo chapters, 2 to 4 p.m. And I have a book launch and dementia advocacy event happening May 10th, 6 p.m. Tickets on Eventbrite, Dalhousie Student Union Building, 6 p.m.
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Agnes. Thank you so much, Tia.
And thank her mom for being here.
Yeah, and her mom is behind the camera right now. We appreciate that so much. We put all the information for Dr. Agnes on our website, so you can find out more about her book. And she actually does a lot of videos with health information that if people are interested as well. But in any case, we have to take a break, and we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live right after this.